All right. Happy Monday, June 5th. You know, I played that call in honor of Robert, who is going to be heading to Poland for the next couple of weeks, and he wasn't even on. I got the Polish top hits on there. So just a little something to tell Robert thank you. And we love him and hope he has a great time going back home to Poland for a little while. So with that, I want to thank you guys for hopping on. You know, we had a great turnout. I think hopefully we're going to have more people join as this call kind of goes on. But I like to keep these timely because I know you guys are important. When you hop on our calls, I kind of keep them to that sharp 12 to 12:30 time frame. I know things are busy, but we always want to make sure we give you the most up-to-date information each and every week and train you on everything. With that said, can you hear me? Can you guys see my screen?
We've got you.
All right. So wanted to talk a little bit more today about some of the CIP best practices and how to overcome objections from your customers without ID. With that said, I want to give you first some quick weekly updates. One of my favorite segments when we have new stuff come up for our weekly updates before I hop into the main topic. So a couple things. First of all, 2 weeks ago, we talked about there were some legacy-only devices, the Quality One-Shock Volt, Joy Tab 2, and Link Zone 2, that were not going to be able to be activated on GSF. That is no longer the case. They actually updated it last week. You can now, if you have those in stock, you can activate those on GSF. Again, that was the Quality One-Shock Volt. SV55 is now available on GSF, Joy Tab 2, and Link Zone 2. And then I'm going to give you one pricing update that just happened and one that's going to happen this week. On 5/30, there was an update for that Moto Edge Plus 2023. SRP is $849.99 in an absolutely amazing phone. If you guys missed the call with Motorola a couple weeks ago, Neil was on and highlighted some of the stuff about this device. Man, it is really nice. The new and upgrade price, $249.99, not bad. And the port-in price, $199.99. So super, super solid phone from Motorola there. And then this week, there's a price change on the Moto G Play 2023 on 6/9. The SRP on that's $129.99. So a nice kind of starter phone. Your customers with no ID or with ID is $20. Upgrade $59.99 and port-in free. Also, important, if you guys have an invite for tomorrow's special edition Boost Talk brand standards, it's from 1 to 2 Central Time, so 2 to 3 your guys' times. It's been a while since we focused on like audits and stuff like that, right? Well, brand standards is basically, I guess we'll find out more tomorrow, but I feel like this is going to be kind of like an audit of your guys' stores. You guys are going to be held to a standard. If your store does not meet that standard, you're going to get, a nasty gram from Boost, and there could be penalties if you don't kind of pick your game up and some stuff in that. Like, think about if you remodeled your store to a 4.0. Well, we've had these out there for now, 6 years or so? And if you got a floor that's 6 years old, maybe you need to do some replacements on it. Are your posters up? Does your store look right? Is your marketing on point? This is not the job of Boost reps or DCI reps to market your store. This is the reps of you guys. It's the job of the store employees to get your stuff marketed right. Everything's shipped to you. You have your planogram. It should be accurate. Will we help you with it when we do visits and we see something wrong? We'll call it out. Yes, we will. But this is not the job of us to be doing this. This is your guys' job. Have pride in your stores, and there is going to be accountability that's going to be factored in on this. So it's going to be very important. Kind of look at yourself as a corporate store. Look at yourself as if your your store, your parents come to visit your store, right? Or they're coming to visit your house. You want everything to be in tip-top shape. You want everything to be vacuumed, dusted, clean, nice. Give that best appearance. You should feel that exact same way about your store. Take some pride in the location you work at. Make sure everything's accurate and correct each day and every day. All right, next, wanted to remind you, I don't think we're out of these yet. It was the first 30 retailers that respond back. We do have the Own the Mile Summer Events Neighborhood Involvement Giveaway going on, where DCI is giving you a $250 Boost Mobile Gear gift card to host your store event. So if you guys are planning a store event for your summer, which the weather is nice now, so there's no excuses, let's get committed. Let your Boost account manager know. We'll get you scheduled. We'll get you on the books. And those first retailers that reply back, and you have to actually have the event. They'll send us a photo, and DCI are probably going to be there to help you sell, right? You guys can get a $250 gift card from us at DCI for hosting events. We want to make sure you guys are really owning the mile. So have that marketing calendar in your store. Create a 30-day event schedule, host your own events, build your local partnerships with your churches, your flea markets, your big box stores, all your businesses around you. Digital dashboards available to you for Facebook and Google assets, and customize your flyers. So spread the word out there, and we will help hook you up for some events. We want to get these on the books. We're now at June 5th, right? So what are we thinking? Well, you can think Father's Day. Great time you can plan an event around Father's Day. If you go a little after that, you can think 4th of July, right? So both of those things are going to happen in the next 30 days, Father's Day and 4th of July, all right? So reach out to your account manager, get an event on the books. We'll help you out. First 30 that have responded to us, we'll get these kits. All right, now let's jump into the meat and potatoes of today. Overcome objections without customer ID and best practices for CIP. So let's be real, okay? Everyone on this call, everyone you work with, everyone you know has an ID. So if a customer comes in and says they don't have an ID, you know, did you forget it at home? Okay, sure, that's possible. But you got an ID. Everyone has an ID. You want to buy cigarettes, you want to buy alcohol, you want to go to the club, you got to have an ID to get in, right? So everyone should have an ID. If you have a customer that refuses to give you an ID because they say they don't have one, that's fine. Don't let it stop the sale. Pivot on the opportunity. You don't have any ID at all? No state ID? No driver license, no state ID? No, I don't have anything. Okay. No worries. Do you have anyone in your family? You have a significant other or someone else who might have a valid ID we could use, right? So you can still overcome that. If someone comes in and they don't want to give it to you, give you their ID or say they don't have it, you can pivot to that significant other, a husband or wife, someone who might have an ID, and say it's just to give you the best available pricing. And if they, well, why do you need my ID? Well, Boost is asking for those IDs. Well, for you guys' knowledge, it's proven to customers if they provide an ID, they'll stay with the company longer. And we want you to be with Boost as long as possible. So, you know, it's pretty standard. You can tell them too. It's pretty standard across the industry. Metro's doing the same thing, and you know, we're not there. There's no having Boost does not affect your credit. Having Boost does not run a credit score. Your driver's license is just to verify who you are, so we can give you the biggest discount on devices. If they still say no and you've asked them and they deny it, and you ask for a family member, they say no, they don't have anyone, hey, no worries. We still have some other great deals on devices, like what we just mentioned, that Moto G Play 2023, going to be $20 for new customers. So no ID, no anything. Okay, no worries. Are you porting over or is it new? If you're porting over, it gets you the Moto G Play 2023 for free. If not, I can still get you that device for only $20 out the door. The key here when you're overcoming these objections for customers without ID is not to accept the first no. Don't just say, no, I don't have any. Okay. And you want to ask the follow-up questions. Ask if there's any family member that you might be able to qualify for. And do everything you can. Explain to them the whys. Why are they asking for ID? Well, we want to make sure that you get the best pricing available. And to get the best pricing, you need to have that ID. Now, another thing you can do when you get these IDs, when you have a customer's ID in hand, let's say different scenario, customer 2 walks in the door. Customer 2 walks in the door, do you have an ID? Yes, I do. Okay, great. Can I see it? You get that ID. Ask that customer for the last 4 of their social. Can I get the last 4 of your social? Yeah, 2122. Or, 2122. I was going to give them 4 numbers there. Get the last 4 of that social. Why? Why am I advising you guys to do that? Well, when you do that, you can take advantage of the time you have with this customer to fully maximize your opportunity. You can run Xfinity home address check because you got their ID, you got the last for the social, you got their address. You can run Xfinity home address. You can run Smart Pay. Why am I telling you to run Smart Pay? It's a soft credit check. It does not affect the credit score. Now you can really maximize your outdoor opportunity where you could, if they're approved Smart Pay, let's say they get $800, you could put everything in one purchase and lower that price and explain it's through Smart Pay. I have a dealer personally. If you guys were in Orlando, it was a branded door. I'll give them a shout out. We are wireless, and they won top dealer for their tier. Top dealer nationwide, and they crush Smart Pay. They do this for every customer. This is their best practice. They'll get their ID. They'll run that Smart Pay soft credit check and say, hey, I can get you out the door for way less than you thought. It'll be on Smart Pay, and this is what you're going to pay monthly, right? And they do this as an organization for every customer. It maximizes their profits by far. It helps your customer lifetime value because that customer is going to pay every month because they're qualified with Smart Pay. So huge opportunity to do that. So in other words, what I'm coaching you to here is having that ID is not just a boost sale. It's an opportunity to maximize your product portfolio, your home chargers, your cell phone chargers, your cases, Xfinity, all of that. It can be bundled and Smart Pay, right? So awesome opportunity for you guys to take advantage of. And hopefully this is like an aha moment or the light bulb clicks because there's so much there you guys can do. And so when we get into why is CIP so important, let me give you the whys. Why are we pushing this so hard? Why is Boost pushing this so hard, right? Well, this is the way prepaid's going. It's been this way for some time. Metro's had this for over a year now. So we're kind of actually late to the game when it comes to CIP. Our competitors have been doing it. And the reason is Boost needs a healthy business. We need long-term customers to have these industry-leading promotions or like free iPhones or $50 iPhone. Like, you know, those stuff out there, you have to be healthy on it. So let me break it down to you. Boost buys a phone at full MSRP because when Boost buys them, and you guys order them, you're charged MSRP, right? So they're paying $500 for, and this is just an example to make the math easy. You buy a phone for $500. You sell that phone for $50, okay? So immediately you're at a $450 loss as a company for Boost, right? Now they're getting their, let's say, $50 a month profit. Well, how many months does that take to be profitable? You can say, well, that'd be what, 2 for like 6, 7 months. Well, on top of that, they also have to pay you as a dealer, so that makes that time longer. They pay staff, so it makes that time longer. In other words, the customer lifetime value is super important. Also, very important for you guys to know, comp is changing, right? It is changed. It's the note's been out there. It's going to be in 30 days. Your comp's going to be more focused on customer lifetime value. So customers who provide their IDs, they are proven to stay with the company longer. The numbers have been out there. It's been studied. It's the reason why Metro's on it for over a year and why we're shifting to this as well. On top of that, Boost Infinite is coming soon. Boost Infinite is Boost postpaid brand, right? It's going to be able to deliver the most iconic experience for customers on Dish's entirely new network. And what makes Dish's network so different than Verizon and AT&T is Verizon, AT&T, and really all wireless networks out there, Cricket, Metro, like anyone, right? They're all built as voice networks that added data. What Dish is doing that's really kind of revolutionary is they're all about data capacity. So they're building a brand new capacity that's good. Everything's going to run on data. Your voice is going to be run over data with kind of a voice as a secondary. So you're going to have better data with Dish than any of these other companies. So this is huge. And Boost Infinite, when it launches, there's no stores built for it yet, are there? No. This is going to be launching in existing Boost stores. So getting these IDs, which are going to be required for Boost Infinite, is a habit that's going to be second nature to your reps once Boost Infinite launches, because you're going to have an ID for the postpaid product as well as better deals on the prepaid. So very important, guys. I need you to get 100% on board. Make this second nature. It's not hard. It's pretty simple. And with that, I want to start with some best practices on how to pitch. And we have a special guest, Renata Adams from Buzz Wireless. I believe she is on the call. I saw her join. Renata, can you give some kind of tips on how you pitch and how your stores are so successful when it comes to CIP?
Yeah, as soon thanks for the shout out, Adam, by the way. But as soon as someone comes in and they're asking to buy a new phone, port in or new or upgrade, whichever, just ask for their ID. It's that plain and simple. You just ask for their ID. They ask you why, you tell them I don't want to spell your name wrong and I need to put the correct name. Now, if they're giving you a hard time and they don't want to give you the name, you're going to tell them, look, Boost changed. It just happened just a few days ago. We can no longer just put, John or John Smith or John Doe. So get into the habit of just asking for their ID and use the address on their ID. Even if they don't actually live there, do everything that's listed on there. It's that easy. Just grab the ID and use it. It's good for not only CIP, but also ACP. A lot of customers, they're tired of, spending $60, $50 a month lower their bill by, doing 30 or 20. It takes 5 minutes, 5 minutes of your time to get them qualified or approved. And we've been doing it very successfully here at Buzzwires, and I'm sure you guys can too.
Absolutely. Anyone on this call, are you running into problems with customers coming in asking for your ID? Any feedback from you guys out there that are getting just customers who don't want to give it? And if you're seeing that, let me know what you guys are hearing.
Nobody has questions. Nobody knows. Nobody wants like help with failed. I mean, I saw questions in like the DCI chat room, all these other chat rooms. Now's the time to say something if you guys need help.
Renata, I think these people are shy, but we appreciate all your help on the chats. That's something that's always appreciated.
Shyness doesn't make more money. Just an FYI.
That's a great quote. Shyness doesn't make more money by Renata. And I'm sorry, I put Adam. I was like, oh, I'll put your middle name on there. My bad.
Thank you. I patent that. That's mine. Thank you.
Yes, great quote. Great quote. You guys, this is your chance. Otherwise, I'm going to keep moving. I'll wait for about 5 more seconds in case anyone wants to reply.
Well, how many people does use the ID and have no issues? Can you guys just get off mute so that we know you're actually listening and not just having the volume on low? Can you just let DCI know, like, hey, I'm using the ID, or hey, I'm not using it, but I will use the ID? Can you guys do that?
We have no issue asking the IDs for everything, for all the upgrades and for all the upgrades and port-ins and new numbers and everything. I use IDs automatically.
So how do you guys overcome these challenges with customers that maybe are new to the country? They just moved here. How do you guys deal with that? What's your sales pitch there? I think that's like the biggest challenge that we've seen so far in areas like Chicago, where we have doors that have a lot of new immigrants that have no records, no history of being in the States yet. So I wanted to know, how do you guys approach that? Renata, are you guys having any of that customers in your area?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that one more time?
Yeah, like if you have any customers that may be new immigrants in the country, do you have any of that kind of issues where those end users don't have a valid ID, or
that's
they have
Olga and Angel? You guys have a lot of those customers. Do you guys ever have an issue using a passport or the immigrant ID at all? Now is the time to like provide feedback, because I know you've done it a couple times. Olga or Angel, I know you're here.
And if you can't unmute, you might have hit *6, but you should be able to unmute if you're online. Otherwise, maybe try hit *6. We have something in the chat box. Let's see. Well, Tyler just said he doesn't have any issues with getting the ID or the ID going through. That's good. That's very positive. Let's see. Angel, I'm going to unmute you. We're calling on you.
I guess it won't let you.
No, I guess not. We'll see the unmute.
Darn. Got lucky this time. I do know, I've heard success stories from them. I mean, after the first time it'll fail it, but then they'll rerun it again, and then the second time it'll go through. I don't think they really have major issues. You know, they're pretty much working. Any kind of ID, they've worked. Passport, the license worked. What do they call it? I don't want to say this wrong. The IT, what is it? ITIN
yeah,
or something?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that works as well. So I think they're good here.
And
how
Robert,
about you
is that
guys?
what you're? Yeah, Robert, is that what you were going to go to too? Like the passports and stuff will work as well?
Yeah, exactly, right. So we have also in some of the areas here, like the suburban areas of Chicago, we have a lot of migrant workers, and unfortunately, the word is out there that Boost no longer offers free phones for new immigrants, right? So some of the partners take this to an extreme level, and they basically don't know really how to overcome this, right? So I wanted to learn from you guys how you deal with this, so we can coach these partners because. Maybe it's the approach, right? Maybe it's the sales pitch, right? Maybe we just need to provide those end users with a different approach, right? What that is, and that's what I wanted to learn. So far, I think from these partners that we've seen, they're doing is they're focusing on those devices that do not require ID verification, and that those are the offers they are starting with.
Yep. Yeah, so I think so that's one way to do it, but I wouldn't necessarily start with that. I'd start with the idea of a passport, because maybe we can validate you with a passport, and that way you can get that pricing if they don't have that ID. If not, then you can pivot to those other offers as well. But we want to make sure you guys have as many CIPs as possible, just so it gives the best offer to the customers. All right. Anybody else have any feedback on that? Otherwise, I will continue. All right. So I don't think we do. Please stop me if you do. And I'm going to do these quickly now. We only got 7 minutes left. We've covered these before, but I wanted to go over again kind of the reason why, if you get a fail, while it's failing. And I'll do these pretty quickly. I'm just going to read them off. So they're only about 2 lines each for the big top 20 reasons. And a lot of them are very similar. So if you got number 20, the zip code's not matching. When you put it in, it's a high-risk email fraud category, so make sure you are entering the zip code accurately. You have that driver's license. You want to use what's on their driver's license. So wherever they have on their driver's license, kind of different than like Xfinity, if they move somewhere, use what's on that driver's license. Number 19 on the list is last name does not match. So make sure you are properly typing in the last name. This is just a simple typo mistake. It gets 2 triggers, kind of tripped a high-risk email fraud, and last name doesn't match or no DOB available. And another one similar to the same category, last name does not match, email does not exist. And again, these are reasons why your applications are getting rejected. The DCI seen a report of why are CIP applications getting rejected. And this is what we're seeing. We're getting these reasons and then the categories of why it's triggered. So number 18, last name doesn't match, email does not exist, high risk email fraud, invalid email address. 17, again, invalid email address, subject deceased. So I want to stop and talk about this one because this is very important. You guys have to be entering correct email addresses. Your email address for the customer, they say, has to be in file for 30 days. Yeah. Now, this customer should have a phone and they should have one on file. I hear some sound in the background. Does someone have a question? You can stop me anytime, guys. Let's see if there's anything new in the chat box here real quick. Oh, no, no problems. Jason was saying no problems over at their door. Okay, very good. Another one, last name does not match address. So make sure that the customer's name matches the address that they live at. Invalid address is a PO box. So they have to give a physical street address. A PO box will not work. They have to give a physical street address. Last name does not match date of birth. So make sure, again, this is a typo mistake happening out there. Your date of birth matches that ID and the last name matches. Don't rush through these because these tiny typos can make an application get rejected. High risk available, no social security number. So that's if the email is new and no social security numbers. There's two things that trigger this. If you don't have a social security number for the customer and the email is not on file for 30 days, this is the number 12 reason the applications are getting rejected. Number 11 reason applications get rejected, high-risk email. Zip code does not match, and there's no date of birth. So if your zip code doesn't match and the customer also doesn't have a date of birth available, that's going to get denied. Last name mismatch. Last name does not match driver's license. So important that you enter it in exactly as a driver's license. There are some different rules for ACP, but when it comes to the CIP program, enter it identically as it is on the driver's license when submitting. Email under 30 days. Again, we talked about that. This is number 8 reason. Email has to be established over 30 days, and you can't have duplicate emails. It's one per customer. So if there's 2 people in the household, each person needs their own email. Number 7 reason they get denied, newer record found, high-risk email fraud, meaning the zip code doesn't match and the date of birth does not match, the year of birth. So again, these are, seems like mistakes. Either if customers are giving to you, that's one thing, but it shouldn't be that, right? Because you have the ID. If you're entering the zip code in from the address on the ID, you're good. You enter the date of birth on the ID, you're good. If you're asking a customer, this is what I think sometimes happens. People just ask the customer the questions, they don't go off the ID. Customers can lie to you. And if customers are going to lie to you and they give you bad information, maybe it's like, I don't want them to really know who I am, and you type in their bad information, this is going to cause something like this, right? So make sure you're using the information right off that ID. Zip code doesn't match, email domain does not exist, that's high-risk email fraud. Street number does not match, domain doesn't exist. Make sure you're matching the address to the driver's license. And again, the email has to be valid over 30 days. Number 3, social security number issued prior to date of birth. Okay, so don't use fake social security numbers. This is very, very important, guys. Whoever has social security number 111111111, they're dead. And so that comes up as a dead person's social security number. Use a real social security number if you're putting that in. All right. High risk address alert. That's if they're not giving you their social and they have no email. That's going to get denied. And number 1, just simply the result does not match. The address doesn't match a driver's license, which causes the fail. So those are the main reasons why these things are getting rejected. Things seem to be going smoothly. You guys are doing well with this new system. If you have issues, please let us know. We want to make sure that we make everyone as much money as possible. That's why we do these calls. That's why we're here, right? We want to make you as much money as possible. One of the other 1A reason why things are getting denied is the age is below minimum. So when it comes to CIP, I guess it's an important reminder, right? You have to be 18 or older. So you notice when I said, does anyone else, I didn't say, does anyone else in your family have an ID? I said, do you have a significant other or husband or wife who has an ID? And I said that deliberately because children don't qualify. You have to be 18 or older. So when it comes back to that overcoming objections part, you can ask if anyone else in their family has that ID, but they do have to be 18 or older. Lastly, just want to remind you guys, don't commit any fraud or gaming. Not a DCI door, but I heard there was a different DDP, not to be named. They rhyme with Conseco that had 8 doors, got it termed for fraud. So if you guys do fraud, like, this is serious. Boost and Dish are not playing any games. If you guys are doing fraudulent behaviors, stop it now if you haven't stopped it already, because your dealership is at risk if you're doing fraud or gaming, right? So make sure you guys are on top of that each and every week.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm just going to provide feedback on that. So I just came back into the stores, right? And I'm coming in and I'm hearing from customers where they're going to a different Boost Mobile store and they're doing this, they're doing that, and it's much different. We have a brand and we have a business, and we need to be respectful of our customers and your guys' partnership. We want friendly competition. I don't want to deal with no fraud that one store is grabbing port numbers and then you guys are porting over for your guys' commission and your guys' stake in the stores. You will get caught and your stores will be closed and you will be without a job. So if you're an owner or a staff here, respect our Boost Mobile business, because what you're doing is affecting another Boost Mobile store and you're tarnishing our name. So frauding is really important to not do. That's just a little friendly feedback from me.
And 100%, they're on that. Boost sees all this list. They look at your porting percentage. They look at ports from a carrier. They look at gaming. They look at, like, if you're doing add lines and you're breaking those apart, they can see if lines are broken apart in the first day or the first 30 days. They have all those details. Like, dealers, if you think you're slick, you're not. You're going to get caught. So just do business the right way. And we're all here to play in the same sandbox, and we're all here to be successful. But man, do not commit fraud. I mean, we don't want to lose any doors, and Boost has zero tolerance. If there's fraud caught, you know your whole dealership's at risk. So I know this is a lot of our livelihoods, right? It's my livelihood. It's your guys' livelihood. Make sure you're doing business the right way. All right. With that said, I'll open up. Are there any questions at this time over anything we covered today?
No questions. Thanks for the meeting, Adam.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Happy selling, and we'll talk to you next week. Thank you, guys.